try a little something as you're moving from earth and horizontal towards seated. When that happens for you, you can catch up with the sitting whenever it's natural for you. Try a little something as you come back to verticalized. When that happens, let yourself have a little softness of movement as you come back. We call it the seaweed spine, or like your upper body moves softly in a calm sea, well rooted to the seafloor with your grounded legs. If you need to sit in a chair, or if you need to sit with your legs in a different position than cross legged, perfectly fine. Keep a little softness through the pelvis, through the spine, a little seaweed as you get there. And what if the seaweeding, in a way, wasn't so much of a doing? Of course, you sort of initiate the movement, but then there might be a possibility for you to rest your attention in the seaweed movement. So it's almost a place to rest into that is slightly moving. And as you rest into this subtle movement of seaweed, really picture a seaweed. It's always good to also go to YouTube or Netflix and also look at images, video images of the elements from nature that inspire us. We can see how nature moves, and then it can help us remember that in our own bodies. What if the base of your cranium, the base of your skull, received the seaweed movement as well? So a little soft. It's different than moving your head around. It's as if the top of the seaweed received the movement also. Soft jaw. Sometimes the seaweed might be swept a little forward and back. For a meditation practice or a mindfulness practice, could be very useful to notice where there is holding or tension or fixated patterns, especially around the neck, jaw, base of the skull, base of the cranium. So take a few moments here to let yourself explore, especially this region here. Again, it's not an exploration by stretching it. You could also, if you need to, but it's to see where you can loosen up a little bit. The rigidity of the base of the skull. Now, of course, you don't want to collapse completely. There's that little soft seaweed movement through the spine, up the spine, that can touch the neck and the base of the skull. Sometimes it will feel like you're doing it, other times you feel like you're being moved. If for some reason this movement doesn't feel like you want to do that today, or if you feel like the seaweed is on the inside and there's more stillness on the outside, that's okay too. Let yourself seaweed until it becomes smaller and smaller. So it's not to control it to make it smaller, but imagine that the ocean or the lake in which that sea plant is, it just gets more still and more still. And it's not a frozen still, it's a tranquil, calm lake kind of still. We've all been around a place where a lake gets really still. And there's maybe still a little bit of movement, but it's quite quiet. But you can't move the water to make it be still. It has to still itself. So that helps us to release a little bit of the control. And you might find that you could become openly curious about the sensation of the movement where it is in contact with the earth, letting the jaw be soft. If you like to follow a little meditation for the hands, let your hands intentionally be palms down on your thighs or your knees. You might even lift a hand and let it rest. And that's not the only way we can have the hands during a meditation, but we'll practice a little bit with sensing the hands as a place of grounding. So if you still have a little seaweed movement happening or a little side to side, let your attention notice how your hands can perceive that side to side or that seaweed movement. Maybe as you go a little bit more to the right or a little bit more to the left, you feel a subtle difference in the shift of the weight where your hands touch your legs. And that's not because your hands are doing anything, it's because there's a subtle shift of your body weight. It may be that you like to lean slightly to one side. So, this is a subtle version of the canoe that we began with. So, we bring it home. This canoe is almost in a silently still lake. And just notice if you lean a little bit to one side, how there is a little bit more weight to one hand or to one forearm. Notice the breath coming and going. What happens if you let your ear move very gently towards, or your head tip the same direction? What shifts in your perception around your hand, your arm, your elbow? Now, slowly, and as Emily Conrad, my mentor for so many years, used to say, to take a really long time, we use a metaphor of take 4 days and 4 nights to let that weight shift or weight drift go to the other side. So you'll feel yourself slowly, slowly moving the head back towards midline, back towards center line, letting the spine move that direction and slowly going all the way, whatever is all the way for you, towards leaving the weight or a little lateral, leaning to the other side. Go as slow as you can without it making you get stiff. Feel how the perception to the weight of your hand, the weight of your hip, the weight of your elbow, weight of your shoulder might change. "4 days and 4 nights to come back towards center." Let your hands inform you of the changing weight in the upper body. Simply notice that you're breathing. And softly bring your awareness to your left hand. It's just a touch and go of awareness. Without doing anything special to your left hand, simply notice where the hand touches the leg. Almost as if you could imagine an imprint or a handprint there on your leg on your left side. And then bring your attention to your left little finger. Notice how you notice your left little finger. Imagine the bones inside of your left little finger would lay down into the muscle and the skin, as if the bones went into the inner part of the muscles and skin, resting the little finger bone. Letting the fingernail on your left little finger rest in its fingernail bed. Oh. And then bring your attention to the finger pad of your left little finger, and that's the part where the fingerprint is on your left little finger. And an invitation, some of you have heard me say this one before, but an invitation to imagine after a summer rain shower how sometimes we can see one single raindrop or water drop that's about to fall off of a leaf or a grass, and it kind of makes the leaf bend in the weight of the one water drop. And then it falls off the leaf and goes plop to the earth or into a lake. So imagine at your left little finger pad, there's a raindrop just about to fall off. It's a fresh, clean raindrop. And then plop, it falls off, and left little finger lands. Now move to your left ring finger. Let the bones of your left ring finger rest in their muscle and skin. Let the bones and the whole finger rest on the leg. Fingernail of left ring finger rests in its fingernail bed. Left ring finger, finger pad, raindrop. Left middle finger, finger bones rest in the skin. Fingernail rests in the bed. Finger pad, raindrop, plop. Index finger, left side. Index finger bones, including the joints, rest on the leg, rest into the skin. Left index finger, fingernail. simply growing and resting in the fingernail bed. Left finger pad, weight of a raindrop. Left wrist gives way. And as the left wrist gives way to the support of the leg, which is its earth below, then let all the big muscle at the base of the thumb be felt on the leg. And the base joint of your left thumb lay into its skin. And the second joint up, and the nail bed. And all the tips of all 5 fingers on the left hand. Just sense all 5 tips, including the thumb tip. And for just a couple of moments, imagine that all of your left hand, left fingers, left thumb, left wrist, left elbow, and left shoulder could breathe from within. So soft, no command. And soft shifting over to your right hand. And now that we get the hang of it, we don't have to spend as long to develop the sensation, to get to know. So we slowly walk through the right hand together. Right little finger, awareness. Right finger bones lay down in the skin. Right fingernail bed and fingernail meet. Right finger pad, raindrop. Right ring finger, finger joints and finger bones. Right ring finger rests in the skin. Fingernail rests in its bed. Right ring finger, finger pad, raindrop, plop. Right middle finger, finger bones rest. Fingernail meets the finger bed. Finger pad, right middle finger, raindrop, plop. Right index finger, right index finger, finger bones rest in the skin. Right index finger, fingernail rests in its bed. Right index finger, finger pad. Raindrop gathers there. Gravity gives a little pull. Pull up. Finger pad rests. Tension resting in all of the right wrist, the big muscles at the base of the right thumb. Imagine the right thumb could rest from any of its duties of gripping or doing, and notice the sensation of both palms on your hands, on your legs. Maybe you notice it through temperature or natural pressure perceived through the nervous system of the skin. Include all of your right hand, your right wrist, your right elbow, your right shoulder for a few moments. Right arm breathing, as if you could breathe from within the right arm. You might link it to your natural respiratory breathing. Then let both of the arms, imagine both arms are breathing from within. Include both arms and go in through your armpits, gently, softly, respectfully, in through your armpits to include your breathing lungs. And breathing from the center of the chest, just that rise and fall or expansion and return to center. And from the center of the chest area, so light touch, there's no force. Just imagine it was again like a sunset and a sunrise. Sunrise on the inhale, sunset on the exhale. Slowly let the sensation spread out through all of the body, through the arms, through the belly, the pelvis, the legs, and up through the head as one breathing body. No force, front and back. It may have more of a wave like quality to it, or it may be like a sunrise, or it may be a flower opening and closing up for the night, or find what your metaphor is for this rhythm of breathingness. And you don't have to concentrate. We will sit for 3 minutes without any additional instruction from me, just sensing, being here with your breath, with your respiratory breath, and also with this more energetic quality, an energetic respiration that may be able to be perceived through the skin, through the bones, through the body streams. Let yourself relax into that. A breathing body as a place to rest. The mind becomes distracted or thoughts pop in, instead of trying to throw away those thoughts or to go away from them, just let them be there, but rest more into the sensation of the breathing body. What if sitting or mindfulness could be a relaxation into the present moment as it is? Soft face. As a gentle way to conclude the practice, we did more of a somatic meditation today, or include in your heart, if you like, some sensations of appreciation, gratitude, tenderness, simply for the way that things are. If you like, of course, you could continue with sitting a little bit if you want. We've been sitting for 27 minutes with some work with the hands and the seaweed. And if you feel like it's a good moment to bring a conclusion to your practice, whatever is your way to conclude, I like to touch my heart and remember, for me, what is my center and what is most important to me is the heart contact. Others might have another way to close. And if there's anybody in the world around you, in your close world, that needs some extra attention, some extra care, some extra energy, love, or healing energy, you could also think of that person right now and, yeah, offer some energy to them, offer some excess. The bioenergy likes to be likes and likes. It functions well to be in circulation. So we gather it in ourselves, we run it through ourselves, and we share it and we receive. If you like a little movement of your body, if you need to stretch your legs, stretch your legs. And a warm thank you for our practice today. We hope it'll be a good island in the middle of the day or middle of the week for you. So thank you for practice.